change the linens myself. They're fresh.
Schoolie's father's off fighting for the Empire. I'm sure he's just fine. Have a good rest. It's the big room with the double bed. I'll show you to your room. Right this way. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Is that you? I've been waiting. You promised me, Yalti. You promised that when we sacked Hroldan, you would make me your sworn brother. And I've waited. Even after the enemy's arrows dug into my chest and their hammers crushed my bones, I've waited. Your sword, Yalti, that we may become brothers, as you promised. I long to taste battle again.
I would never despair of sleeping outside.
Mara have mercy, that gave me a fright. Old Hroldan is the stone that the Empire's history is built on. Yalti? I never heard of anyone named Yalti. Tiber Septim had many names. Maybe that's one of them. That's right. In the Second Era, Tiber Septim himself led the army that conquered Old Hroldan from the barbarians of the Reach. Septim would later found the empire that united Tamriel, but his first known battle and victory was right here. And this inn has the very bed the great general slept in on his first night as Old Hroldan's liberator, as good as it was hundreds of years ago. A sword? I remember a legend that Tiber Septim had attacked one of the enemy camps before he came to Old Hroldan. It could be there. I'll mark it down on your map. See ya.
You want a drink?
snake was soul-trapped once. Not very pleasant. You should think about that once in a while.
I don't know, but this place is full of them. Everyone I've encountered has been enchanted or the like. Look, I'm getting out of here. Normally spiders make my skin crawl, but magic spiders?
We must show these warlocks the error of their ways. We must make them peace locks, agents of good. I'm just not sure how.
Is there anything more revolting than spiders? Too many legs.
nature too. Especially if they use magic. That's just wrong.
did you get this far?
We were well together, weren't we?
Grandiose mispass, licentious betrayer. Your legend is lies, lurid and false. Your conquest of the maid a con for the ages. No polishing of spears or lifting of tails, nor kneading of loaves did this courtship endure. The maid was not one of mortal form, for on sunlit days she grazed on the pasture. Grantius satisfied himself without tidings, honoured guest. My name is Beatrice. The raffish companion you see beside me goes by the name of Urza. The timing of your visit is rather impeccable. Urza has just secured a fresh skeever which we hope to prepare at the top of the hour. We welcome you to join us in the consumption of this delectable feast. You jest, honoured visitor. Its visage is clearly within your range of eyesight. Although, indubitably, you were directed to this camp not by its countenance, but by its aroma, which is quite exquisite. However, it will do us no good without the proper refreshments to balance it. As host to our most honoured guest, I humbly apologise for my oratory failings. I am but an erstwhile savage, who only recently gained the powers of articulation. Why, there could be no other place. It has been chosen by serendipity herself. For I have ventured far across the river, where the rogues known as the Forsworn reside. I was once such a rogue. A disagreement over refreshments led to my departure. Verily, I was not alone in my thirst, for as I ventured north, another came south. My associate Urzub was slaving in the mines of Mocha's Go when a similar thirst afflicted him and sent him to this location. It is for that reason that I have dubbed this settlement Les Casgo. Why, yes. As half the population is still orc, by rule, it still classifies as a stronghold. More or less. Why, the rule of estimation. If that is cause for confusion, allow this host to offer a guest an example. Take me associate here, who stands roughly 2 1/4 sword lengths in height. For the sake of brevity, he might tell a stranger he's only 2 sword lengths tall, which does indeed convey his general stature. In this instance, one always rounds to the nearest whole number. Now, suppose you are exactly 2 1/2 sword lengths in height. Why, his distance from the numbers 2 and 3 would be equal. In this instance, the rules state we choose the next highest round number when making an estimate. The same rule applies to the composition of this settlement. Given that there are half as many orcs and half as many Bretons, one might estimate that this settlement consists of all orcs and all Bretons. Verily, it seems this settlement is now completely without race, but instead one based on gender. We all present, we are now an all-female tribe. I'm not sure Urzub will be entirely thrilled to hear this. He is wont to scratch himself in locations that do not befit a lady. For our honoured guest, we have the cleanest refreshments this world has to offer, although I cannot speak for the next. Now, when I say clean, I hope I am not misrepresenting the potency of our drink, as I am referring to a very specific type of clean. Well, the word clean can be defined in a variety of ways. There's clean like the Carth River, and clean like the smell of a brisk summer breeze. There is clean like the white of a freshly washed tunic, or clean like the inside of a recently scrubbed cauldron. Whether it is a clean towel, a clean river or a clean shave, the difference is in the surface. Well, one might say clean refreshment and clean taste come when a drink washes smoothly over the surface of your tongue. The refreshments we have gathered, on the other hand, seek to clean the surface of the mind. It can be imbibed or inhaled, smoked or suckled, but the result is the same: crystal clarity. Our most welcome guest has an acute sense of smell, although me associate and I prefer the term refreshment, as it more accurately defines our drink. We are troubadours, celebrators of life. We drink and feast from twilight to cock's crow, in tribute to tradition and song. Many peddlers, hunters and even forsworn will pay a good coin for a warm fire, good drink and a verse from the Poetic Edda. The Poetic Edda is part of the living history of Skyrim, first passed on orally and then through the written word. From the campfires of memorable days to the taverns of forgotten nights, the poetry is passed on and added to by each generation. And while as our guest, the honour of the first verse is yours, I can fill this role in your stead. The choice falls onto you, humble traveller. If the gods bless and the mood strikes, then by all means feel free to recite. Oh, an excellent rendition. You are truly a bard worthy of passing on the tradition of the Poetic Edda. Perhaps you will critique my own reciting of a similar creation verse. Of old was the age when Anu lived. No earth, nor wind, nor sea was there. There were no stars, nor sky above, nor clouds to grey the weather fair. Padme sought to give birth to life from the nothing of nowhere. Yet all Anu did was yawn and belch like a bag of empty air. Alone in the dark she shouted to silence, and silence answered her call. For it's death and emptiness who in the end is the true father of all. When Sithis spoke, the cold was warm, and gods were given birth. And when we leave this mortal coil, it's to Sithis that we return. As our most timely and honoured guest, it is not my place to disagree, nor will I deny any other flattery you wish to send my way. Why, dear guest, it was not more than 20 paces from where you stand. If this answer perplexes you, allow me to recount the events that transpired. I had recently absconded from Drudat Redart with 2 bottles of refreshment on my person when I arrived at the bank of the river. Viewing the campfire in proximity of the dwarven ruin, I attempted to cross the feral current, warily dipping my toes into the mouth. The water was as cold as it was irritable, so I decided to abandon this pursuit, given that I am not well versed in the swimming craft. Yet, no sooner did I turn around that a great big dragon swept overhead, the force of which catapulted me into the water. I fought the current, kicking and gulping, and in my tantrum I managed to wedge my leg between 2 rocks. It was rather embarrassing, but I took some consolation in the fact that I was not the first to drown in such an inglorious manner. No, for laying in the rock beside me was a skeletal fellow, more bones than skin and more clothes than bone. He seemed to have died from a fracture to the skull, and his lifeless body was nestled comfortably beside me. Meanwhile, Ursub, having witnessed my folly, rushed to the river to rescue me. But I could only stare at the corpse in the river. Then I noticed his right hand seemed to glimmer like a bauble, which makes sense as he was clutching one. I reached for the bauble just as Ursub reached for me. He forced me out of the river like a bear swatting a salmon. When I first spoke to Ursub, I didn't recognise the words, but there were none that I'd ever acquainted myself with before. The bauble, you see, was not a bauble, but an amulet of articulation. You have a meticulous eye, traveller. Yet to answer your query, I must first tell you the story. There was once a peddler from elsewhere who sought to bring a barrel of the finest refreshments to his cousin in Skyrim. Unfortunately, those who governed the Empire frowned upon the imbibing of clean, savoury drinks. Undaunted, he sought to smuggle them inside bottles of a popular brand of mead, brewed by a local man named Mogo. However, the choice proved to be his downfall, for the guards quickly confiscated his wagon. Your assumption is correct. These guards were acting in their own interests. They drank it. They say not a throat was dry that night. From the tavern to the Jarl's longhouse, palates were washed and minds were cleansed. And from the womb of that infinite revelry came a flash of inspiration, a paroxysm of melody and song. The bottles we store at this camp represent a harking back to that day, to the true spirit of the bard's tune. If they are true students of history, they would. Alas, these days people confuse the erudite with the recondite and the artful with the arcane. However, it seems you are the one with the unquenchable thirst for knowledge. That is why only you can restore Mogo's mead to its true glory. I foresee a great quest, a reckoning with you at the centre. It is with much regret I say, doubtful, for the mead wars have claimed many in our time and times past. The great whale, Maven Blackbriar, has swallowed barrel after brewery, and still her appetite is nothing short of rapacious. However, the popularity of the song Mogo's Mead persists, and now even the whale has conceded there is profit in another brand's name. Yes, in fact, word has travelled to our ears of a party to unveil the drink under the whale's banner. They plan to replicate the original recipe, but alas, not the recipe that inspired the song. This travesty of justice must be rectified immediately, and that is the quest I would have you endure. What we're doing is curing the masses of their ignorance. You will lift the fog that covers their minds through the imbibing of clean refreshment. Thus your task is simple, for you need only replace the bottles. The refreshment will handle the rest. Here, a case of the finest Mogo's mead, specially brewed for added clarity. Now go, henceforth to Blackbriar Meadery. Go and champion the cause of our enlightenment. Yes?
that Herodis avoids. Have you heard the tale of Aryel and Paler? They were mortals, brother and sister, who made a wager on the nature of man. Aryel, kind-hearted and pure, believed that man was a builder, and his failures were the foundation of progress. Paler, cynical and measured, believed that the soul was constantly eroding and that foundation would soon collapse. Yet only time could tell the truth of it. So they entombed themselves deep in an ancient ruin and cast a spell that turned a single night into 1,000 years. When Aryel awoke, she rushed outside to greet the new age. She found cities that kissed the heavens and ships that walked upon the waves. In towns she saw faces creased not by war, but by the broadness of a smile. Ah, in Aryel's excitement, she'd forgotten about her brother, but not for long. Certain that she had won the wager, she ran back to the ruins to tell him the news. Yet, when she opened Paler's coffin, she found it empty, save for a wooden stake and a pile of dust. That you can change the world, but you can't change its people. Yes. Sometimes I wonder if this is another one of his tricks. As if one day he'd walk through that door and it'd be like he never left. But such thoughts are the foolishness of an idle mind, and I've been idle for far too long. Not in the way you're implying. You see, Paler hasn't won our wager. Not entirely. Society may always be cynical, but I refuse to be. It was Paler who gave me the gift. He called it a spell to ward off time. I never thought of it as malicious. My brother made sure I would never see its trappings. Why, yes, there may be. Given my condition, I had to employ 2 young wards to bring me food and supplies. Neither has returned in a fortnight, however, and I'm beginning to worry that they may be in jeopardy. That may be, but I have been dead for a long time, and your concern should be with the living. Lila and Herodes went fishing near the coast of Dawnstar. In my madness, I told them I longed for slaughterfish. Perhaps one of the guards has seen them. If you do head to the city, then you have my gratitude. I can only hope that virtue still rules the hearts of men.
What's today, Sunday? We should pray at the shrine of Debella. I'm feeling a little unclean.
Lila is an absent-minded child, so perhaps this is all a misunderstanding.
for you? Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that. All right then.
you remember me now, Jordi? It's been an honor to serve you, brother. Remember our lessons from the sword masters of Alcair? Let me show you a few things you may have forgotten before we leave Hroldan.
Путешествовать по пределу опасно. Нужна хорошая повозка.
Yes? Where do you want to go? Going straight through, or did you want to stop somewhere along the way? Climb and back, and we'll be off.
Эх, погодка. Отличная погодка стоит.
It's good to be home. Outcrops may look dangerous.
I've got to get out of this town.
Irgnir, get a hold of yourself. They're just dreams. Please tell her, Erandur.
Listen to your friend. They are just dreams, my dear. I assure you that it is quite normal.
It's the same dream over and over again. You think that's normal? It's evil, I tell you.
Erandur, she has a point. You keep telling us no harm will follow these dreams, but they must be an omen.
Give him a chance to speak. He's trying to help us.
Everyone, please. I'm doing what I can to end these nightmares. In the meantime, all I ask is you remain strong and put your trust in Lady Mara.
I will. Thank you.
The Winch Peak Inn features the finest bar in all of Dawnstar.
I'm sorry. My mind was just somewhere else. Do you need a room? Drink? By the divines, I'm tired. Here, take a look at this for details. Here, take a look at this for details. Here, take a look at this. Some of the Jarl's men came by and left this bounty letter. See ya.
Yes?
You know, yeah, it was something. Recently, a traveler in unusual armor came in. I have never seen such armor before. Not I often hear. He looked like sort of depressed or something, and saying about his career or something like that. I don't know, but it seems he said something about the cost. You're welcome. This is not some kind of secret information. I hope so.
Need something? Take a look. All right, then.
Need something?
Need something.
Threatening with our old war wounds. We're not soldiers anymore.
Your man Horik is wearing his old Legion armor. What should I make of that?
He's proud of his service, Skald. The Legion taught us loyalty, and we're loyal to Dawnstar.
This isn't over. I catch you sending one letter to General Tullius. I'll have you both executed.
You never talk much about yourself, do you, Horik? I swear, these past 30 years you've been at my side, and I think I barely know you.
What's to say? I was born on a farm, joined the Legion when I came of age, and I've served you ever since.
What about your family? There must have been someone waiting for you back at the farm, wondering if you were ever coming home.
No, can't say there was. My parents died when I was young. You and the Legion have been my only family since.
I see. You're a good soldier, Horik. I'm sorry for intruding.
You weren't. There's just not much to it.
Unless you're here to solve this nightmare problem, I don't need you. The only reason dragons are attacking is because Talos is angry with us for turning our backs on him. As soon as we drive the Empire out of Skyrim, the dragons will vanish. Mark my words. Don't bother me again unless it's...
By the divines, I'm tired.
The Jarl is tired. Be mindful of that.
Imperials think us all in all.
You lost?
What is it? Something you need? Sure, that's me. It's my partner, the lizard. He got himself holed up in the dungeon for a week. Yeah, he got jailed for a week. Then, he punched a guard. That made it 2. Some drunk picked a fight with me. The lizard stepped in. Didn't know he cared. He's got the whip bane. The kind that doesn't fix. Not a talker like me. But he's strong as an ox. I'm not worried. Only one way out of jail. Well, there's technically 4 ways. The other 3 are kind of stupid. If you're smart, you bribe the guard.
Need something? Done. Convince him to stay out of the city while you're at it.
You should say thank you.
I don't like strangers.
Fair enough. We should head back to Aриэл's. She's probably hungry.
Dawn star. The sunrise here must be...
I'm Scald's housecarl.
Unless you're here to solve this nightmare problem, I don't need you. Excellent. You've done us a great service. Here is your reward. Don't bother me again unless it's important.
Повозка – самый безопасный способ.
Where do you want to go? Going straight through, or did you want to stop somewhere along the way? Climb and back, and we'll be off.
Если путешествуешь по пределу, остерегайся изгоев. Ух и кровожадные ублюдки.
I see you've returned, and returned my charges in good health. Thank you. And now that you've proven your heart is virtuous, all that's left is your reward. You remind me of myself in some ways. Noble, almost to a fault. But worry not, I don't intend to offer you something as trifling as gold. The reward I am offering you is knowledge. The very same gift Paler gave me. Paler was right. He was always right. And it took me a long time before I understood. I apologize for what I'm about to do. Every fiber of my being begs me to set you free. But no amount of will can bend the nature of man. And so long as he rules our hearts, only in death will we find peace.
Oh, is that it? My little niece is helping you.
God's blessings on you. Thank you. Honor dictates something in return. I hope you find this pleasing.
Where do you want to go? Going straight through, or did you want to stop somewhere along the way? Climb and back, and we'll be off.
What does it matter? It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Let me open the gate, and you can head into the city. Blackbriars have ripped it in their pocket, and the Thieves Guild watching their back, so keep your nose out of their business. Me, I'm Maul. I watch the streets for them. If you need dirt on anything, I'm your guy. But it'll cost you. Then we're speaking the same language. Good. So what do you want to know? Well, you got Maven. She pretty much runs the whole operation. She's got friends in high places, if you know what I mean. She's also got ties to the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild, so basically, no one can touch her. Just remember, if she tells you to do something, you damn well better do exactly what she says. Be seeing you around.
Ah, there you are. The natives were getting restless waiting for the porter to deliver the mead. And if there's one person you don't want to see restless, it's Maven Blackbriar. Is that the case? Perfect. I'll go ahead and take that. I don't know about that. You might be better off not showing up at all. Maybe if we get her drunk enough, she'll forget. Although I don't see Maven Blackbriar as the type to forget anything. Why don't you come by anyway, and let me do the talking? Oh, she's plenty incensed already. Hopefully those troubadours really do know the poetic Edda. That would put even Maven Blackbriar to sleep. Don't you introduce yourself to the other help while I talk to Maven? Oh, right. The servers were dismissed. You can talk to the troubadours. The orc doesn't say much, but the other looks amiable enough. Just talk to her, and make yourself look busy.
Why, hello, stranger who I've never met before. I hope you're enjoying the party.
So, I guess I'll speak first. As the descendant of one of the original brewers of Mogo's Mead, I am pleased to be here at the table today. Everyone knows the bard's song, Mogo's Mead, but few have tasted the richness of the drink that inspired it. Now, thanks to the generosity of one Maven Blackbriar, they can. Of course, some say what makes Mogo's Mead so special isn't the honey, but a secret ingredient imported from outside of Skyrim. What is that secret ingredient?
Well, I only know what I've heard in the old tales.
I don't even want to know.
Oh, come on now, Maven. If you despise the mead so much, why even sell it?
To collect a larger share of the market, and with minimal cost.
Ha ha! I guess that's as good a reason as any. Profits then, and the continued success of the Blackbriar Empire! Troubadours, how about a song?
Drink up, my boy. Drink to those who have fallen.
May their souls find their way to Sovngarde!
Just when you think things couldn't get any worse.
Knew myself a maiden fair with emerald eyes and fire-red hair. She owned a tavern by the sea and served warm drinks of mellow honey. Drink ye merry, drink ye thirsty, bring thy crew and revel freely. For one thing we're all agreed, that Mogo made the finest mead.
You know, Maven, maybe you're right about this mead. It tastes kind of odd. Call me crazy, but I think this might be skooma.
Somehow I doubt that. It's a bit melodramatic, even for you.
It is up. Perhaps it's best we make a strategic exit.
What?
Run!
What in the world? By the gods, those troubadours, they were skooma addicts. They must have broken into the meadery and switched the cases. Are you kidding? If word gets out that the Blackbriar Meadery was tainted with skooma, it would cripple the business. Who knows how many bottles those vagrants have sold? Luckily, convincing Maven to can the operation won't be too hard. She's half opposed to the idea already. Once I have Ingun examine these bottles and verify their taint, it won't take much persuading. I'm going to need to take that drink off your hands.
What are you doing?
I think you've had enough. Moreover, I don't think those bottles are entirely safe to drink.
Stupid lizard. I'm not going to warn you again.
Listen, who in Oblivion are you talking to?
Gallant champion returns. What news do you have of the party? I take it all went well. You speak in haste, brave hero. For if the great whale chooses not to sell, then it is a victory nonetheless, as it leaves room for a new heir. The future is sparkling bright, for now the great whale is no longer a detriment to our vision. The citizens of Leska's Girl will begin production immediately on bottles of Mogo's mead and distribute them throughout the Reach. For your part in this ordeal, I offer this reward. A large sum of gold and a fortune in wisdom. Take it and be cleansed.